Difference between Salafism and Muslim Brotherhood. The Muslim Brotherhood was formed by Hassan al-Banna in 1928. The main idea was to formulate an Islamic political party that was aimed at forming a peaceful idealized Islamic society. The main idea was to set up a mosque, a school, and a sporting facility in different cities across Egypt. Later, however, the focus shifted from peaceful to violent measures to achieve the aim of the Islamic society. This violent segment was a part of the original organization and was run secretly in the early years. Later it was led by Syed Qutb in the 1950s and 60s. Syed Qutb's writing, allegedly, instigated the rise of many Muslim terrorist groups. In 1950s the Muslim Brotherhood confronted with the Egyptian government. However, during the rule of Hosni Mubarak, Muslim Brotherhood stood in support of the rule. Recently, in 2011, they formed a political party under the name of Freedom and Justice Party in an attempt to represent Egyptian population as a whole. It took up a banner of Islamic rule that would be tolerant to other religions, and it would not object to political representation by women in the cabinet. Further, the party shows support for free market capitalism and has a nationalist approach to ruling the country. Challenging the Muslim Brotherhood on the Egyptian political frontiers is the Al-Nawr party with its Salaf ideology. Salafism is a Muslim Puritan's ideology that is inherently against the concept of political involvement. However, over time it has become increasingly involved in political activities in the Middle East, especially in Egypt recently. The founders of Salafism, whether the controversial scholars themselves or their protagonists, were Ibn Taymiyyah, 13th century, his student Ibn al-Qayyim and al-Tahawi, Ibn Abd al-Wahhab Najdi, and his followers like Bin Baz, Uthaymin, Albani, etc. Salafism is similar in ideology to Wahhabism, which is the dominant ideology of the Saudi Arabia's ruling government. The Nawr party, following the Salaf ideas, has an ultra-conservative approach towards governing Egypt, and it focuses on implementation of strict Islamic Sharia laws. They emphasize that the Sharia law should be the main source of legislation in Egypt, and they are less liberal in their thought compared to the Muslim Brotherhood party. Although Salafi are active in Egypt, however, unlike Muslim Brotherhood, they are not exclusive to Egypt. Salafism saw its rise and fall in Iraq, and it has significant following in Saudi Arabia and other Muslim countries. Muslim Brotherhood is a 20th century ideological movement, while Salafism is a 13th century idea. Muslim Brotherhood was meant to be a political party, while the purpose of Salafism was to separate religion from politics. Muslim Brotherhood has a segment that is violent, otherwise it's a peaceful movement. While Salafism is ideologically similar to Wahhabism, which is known to be intolerant and often violent. Muslim Brotherhood is concentrated in Egypt, while Salafism is spread throughout the Muslim world, although recently became active in Egyptian politics. Salafism is less tolerant and far less liberal in its approach to governance compared to the Muslim Brotherhood. Muslim Brotherhood comes with a religious idea, but the movement has a nationalist approach towards Egyptian rule. On the other hand, the Salafism has a purely religious orientation regarding governance.